Hey everybody, welcome back to the 34 Guitars Custom Shop. I'm Dave, I'll be your guide as we continue building this custom Flying V guitar. Let's zoom in, take a closer look. Okay, so there's not going to be a lot of footage of me painting the burst on this, but I'll kind of walk you through. A couple of the reasons are, one, it's very time consuming, at least for me. I'm using an airbrush for most of it, and it's kind of tedious work. Takes a long time. Didn't feel like you guys would probably enjoy watching that too terribly much. So the next thing will be on to clear coating. I'm going to use Spray Max 2K poly. It's a catalyzed two-part polyurethane that provides a very, very hard protective coating, and it also shines to a very high gloss. So it's really, a great product. But unfortunately, I don't want to get any of my camera equipment covered with clear coat. So we probably won't be filming a whole lot of that either, but I'll definitely update you as we're going along and try to show you some shots like right after shooting the clear. I did film some of the tape pulls for some of the stuff that we taped off on this guitar, so I'll include that in this episode. But for the most part, this is kind of just an update of this is where we're at, and hopefully the next episode the clear coat will be on and we'll go on. Hopefully I'll be able to show you some level sanding, buffing, and polishing on this, and then we'll start on assembly, maybe a sound demo before I get to ship it off to its final owner, which is pretty exciting. We're getting pretty close. So we'll walk you through as much as I have in the process of getting here, and hopefully that'll all be good. Okay, so we're starting the finishing process. What we've got is some Total Boat penetrating epoxy. Maybe over here works better. This stuff works really great. I've been using it for grain filler and kind of wood hardener in general. Makes poplar much more stiff than it normally would be. Probably don't need it as much for this mahogany, but we're gonna Try to fill in most of the grain. Kind of stiffen everything up. Get it ready for painting. So this is me applying the first coat of the grain filler, which is the Total Boat penetrating epoxy. It does a really great job of not only filling in the pores, which kind of is the main purpose on this build, but also if you have some softer wood like some spalted maple or maybe even some poplar or something like that, it kind of penetrates down into the first couple layers and firms everything up, makes the wood just a little bit harder. And when you sand down that first layer, it provides a very hard kind of slick finish to it, which when you go to apply the clear coat over the top of it, it really lays down a nice flat clear coat after your 3 or 4 coats of this. I think I did 4 coats of the grain filler and then sanded back a little bit after each coat. It wasn't a big sand back, like it was using the Super Acilex sanding papers at around like a 800, just kind of to flatten out any imperfections and get ready for the next layer. We did 4 coats. You could probably do 5 or 6 coats if you wanted to for a really, really nice flat finish. This one you'll probably just be able to see some of the grain in the paint underneath, but it really won't. Those clear coat won't sink back into the pores of the wood, and it'll lay out pretty flat. So after we've added the grain filler and kind of massaged it down into the pores of the wood, take one of these. I'll try to provide the name and the link down below, but they're a very strong lint-free shop towel, and you just wipe off the excess and leave a very, very thin film of the penetrating epoxy left mostly down in the pores. This kind of helps later on with uh, cutting down on how much sanding you have to do afterwards. If you wipe it down really well, you can almost go straight to the next coat. I generally just kind of knock back any imperfections or dust nibs or anything that end up on there with some 800 or 1200 super acelix. So a couple things of note in addition to doing the burst paint job that I didn't really touch on last time. The customer wants a direct mount pickups, which I'm not a huge fan of just the regular wood screws into the body thing. So I've got threaded inserts here for both the neck pickup and the middle pickup. The bridge pickup's going to be in a telly bridge, so it really doesn't need a direct mount because it mounts to that bridge. But we'll paint that all black and make it look nice on the inside. Probably some shielding paint also, since it is kind of single coils. But it should look pretty good.